So today I think I want to go back to basics and play around with composition and squares and lines. Sounds so basic, but I just want to try out like what looks balanced, what looks chaotic or uninteresting versus more interesting, although everything's subjective. I just want to place squares and rectangles and lines in a space and see what's up. Am I crazy? I feel a little bit crazy. I'm still gonna do it. That was an adventure. What I like the most about what I've done today is the texture that I was able to get in the squares, the big squares, with the dry brush. I think I'm pretty much in love with dry brush texture, especially on like thick paper. It gives such an interesting, beautiful texture. On canvas, the texture is different. So I might have to work more on canvas to try and see what kind of texture I could get and that would get closer to this. So I try to play with lines and squares with like the palette knife, having a contour with the palette knife and different kind of texture within that. I played around with the idea of borders and stuff. There's nothing really that sticks out composition wise where I'm like, oh, I want to see this in a really large format, but the textures that I got were really interesting to me. As far as the little squares, I tried to focus on lines and composition. 3 of them were pretty successful, I find. The 4th one I did with the dots, I kind of got lost there and I tried to reel it back in, but then in the end it didn't quite get there. And from there I took one of the 4 that I liked and I tried to push it somewhere else with like thicker lines and more texture. It's okay. I wouldn't say that it added anything to the original one. The same composition but with more curvy lines would maybe work better. So these are my thoughts. Overall, to note today is texture with dry brush, minimal straight lines on a square format / with a palette knife is also interesting. I created a playlist of this art challenge, so if you missed any days, you can go and watch them. I'll see you tomorrow for another day in the studio.